I am the Mancow, and we are live. It is Mancow Monday Night Live. And, the debate to talk about, I tell you what is really irritating to me, and it's my friends, they want a Trump that's screaming and yelling and going over to the podium. And you may recall I said if Trump just stays cool, he wins. And I think he won big time. I think he showed restraint, and we saw what we've been dealing with. It really made very clear, and we're going to talk more about this with Dennis Kucinich, who is coming up. You've heard that name. You heard that name a lot. It was a household name to those of us that paid attention to who was in power. And he was erased. Why? Well, he tried to impeach Obama, and then he was gerrymandered and destroyed. Or, well, we'll see. We'll see how he's doing. But his name has been removed. And you really see how the criminal liberal media, the propagandists, how they lie. Joe Biden, there's never been a president sharper. Oh, he's very engaging. And then we saw the debates. And you go, oh, my God. And this is the life I've lived for 30 years, seeing behind the curtain and trying to tell folks the truth and trying to tell you what's going to happen. The exodus from Illinois that I talked about in 1994, how you can't keep paying people that hate you to just behave. Well, we'll give you more money. Well, just behave. Please don't kill us. Oh, okay, you don't have to pass. Just don't kill us. And you pay, and then the people that are paying get sick of it. And they go where they don't have to pay. Taxes this year up $1 billion. Property taxes about to be jacked up. And there's, I think, about a 30-cent a gallon tax that's going to be added any moment now to your gas, and it's permanent. I mean, this is how much these bastards care about us. Not even a little. So, we were getting ready for the show. I don't know, Ralph, are you handy enough to jump on here?
I am. I'm here.
Jump on. This is, I've always found it amazing under every president. I really don't like them campaigning while they're president. I mean, I understand they have to, but for him to take a Supreme Court ruling and use it as a campaign stop to jump in on everybody's news.
I've got
Biden was just on TV, if you don't know, bashing our Supreme Court. This is a president of the United States bashing our Supreme Court. And, he looked wild-eyed and kooky as always. And by the way, I don't feel sorry for him. Oh, he's old. Yeah, he's an old communist. And, this family is disreputable. They should not be running our lives. Anyway, what was your take, Ralph, the producer?
Well, they obviously couldn't jack him up for that whole hour and a half debate. I think they were trying to figure out the medical cocktail for those whole 10 days they had him in hiding, but they can jack him up enough for a 2-minute speech, which is what they did right here today. So he came out, both guns blazing, spray tan, looking nothing like the real Joe Biden that we just saw last week, but back to the artificial Joe Biden that they keep putting in front of the American people and telling you not to believe your lying eyes, that this is the real president.
Well, look, this was scripted, obviously not written by him. And he was. I saw the same Joe. This is Joe Biden I've always seen. I wondered because there's endless clips and you can find them of him using the N-word repeatedly. And I just wonder why that's never been used by anybody. I know we don't use the N-word, but bleep it. Why isn't that a commercial?
Or him saying that he didn't want the schools becoming racial jungles.
Oh, yeah. No. This guy's a longtime racist, and Trump has none of that. Trump has no intention of getting rid of abortion. And these lies they keep going after, and just their use of the black people in America to keep them constantly frightened. And look, it goes both ways. I mean, it's our race has been used against us, and it's sickening. When really what we need is
even
more
the way.
love.
Even though he just demagogued and lied about what this decision really was, because it's so much more nuanced than what they're making out to be. They didn't give him immunity over anything and everything he's ever had. We have a mechanism for a president to make sure he's not above the law. It's called impeachment.
Yeah. More nonsense from our government, really a government out of control in a country that is sinking. I have a little song I'd like to sing if we could. Go ahead. Let me get yourself off here. I mean, get yourself off the screen. Okay. When you feel down. No? I thought you'd start
if Mancow was cast on Dallas, what kind of character would he be?
My mother's boyfriend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, put your toe up here. Put your toe up here.
If you do it slow, man.
What?
If you do it slow, it's gonna hurt. I know it's gonna hurt. Just please do it slow, man. Please. Okay, hold on.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was from Mancow TV. Oh, that's disgusting. That is disgusting. Oh, get that off here. Oh,
What did you send me? That was gross.
That was on TV. That was on Fox here in Chicago, and we did it. You know what? There's part two. Play part two. Roll part two. Roll part two. Roll it, and then I'll tell you. Okay. That's Doug Goins, the FX artist at the end there, and Doug. That was he did that with like a piece. He did that with a styrofoam cup, and he squeezed it down and put it on, and some fake blood. We put it on this guy's toe, Nathan Murray, who's a preacher, Pastor Nathan Murray.
Oh, we've had him on the show before.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's when he was part of the TV show and that kind of stuff. So really cool. I'm excited. We're gonna have a Scotty the Toy Schwarz back. We had a total cluster last week, but we're not gonna have it this week. Debate talk, all that stuff. Get ready. And oh man.
I think we should have like a Mancow debate. We should find somebody for you to debate on debate night.
Hey, wait a minute. This is not a two-man show. I think you should shut the fuck. What is this conversation we're having? We got to get to the guests here shortly, but I just want to say Roger Stone was at my house for a week. We hung out with Blagojevich, and man, he was a man of the people. He was shaking hands. We're hanging out at La Scarola. I think I have a picture here somewhere. Do you see the picture around? Oh yeah, I got it right here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you click back to me. So, there he is. There he is. I'm driving around. Okay. All right. Come back to, okay. There you go. So, they're going to hang this on the wall at La Scarola. You can put it up again, Ralph. Put it up again. The first one. Yeah, there you go. So that's our former governor, 15 years. And you consider that, he got 15 years. Madigan hasn't been sentenced. If he got 15 years, and by the way, they never did play the tape.
He still has nice hair.
Yeah, his hair is incredible. God, I would love to have that thickness of that hair. Rod, if you're listening, I would love to have your thickness. And he is going to do the show. He is doing the show. He's committed. I bought dinner. He's going to do the show. Roger Stone there to my left, your right as you're looking at it. What do you think of that jacket? For about 30 years, he was on everybody's best dressed list, regardless of your political affiliation. He's a very unique dresser, and I think very dapper, and I think he pulls it off. Ralph, what do you think?
Oh, I love the way the man dresses.
Yeah, no, he's cool.
Something unique going on there.
He is cool. He said, bring it back to me. So I give him full credit here. So he went into a bookstore and he said, excuse me, ma'am, bookstall. He said, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me. Can I get the book that Trump wrote about all these illegals, all these people illegal in our country? And she goes, what? Get the hell out of here. And he goes, yeah, that's the one. Nothing from the studio audience. Nothing. How about this? I don't get my fake now. I don't get my news from CNN because I don't get my food from the toilet. That's another
that is a
Roger Stone. Did you hear about the new restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere. Hey, how about that, huh? How do you pick up a fat girl? Huh? Piece of cake. No? What do you do? Ralph, come back on here. Ralph.
I'm here.
What do you do when you see a spaceman?
When I see a what?
Spaceman.
A spaceman?
Yeah, you pull your car in, dude. Let's start the show.
All right.
Come on, pull the string. Start the show. Debate talk, Trump talk coming up. Trump the father, I had a birthday on a Father's Day. And, if you can flash a picture up here anytime, Ralph, I would like it. But Trump is a father. I know his kids. I hang out with his kids. They're great kids. We went to Duran together. And what makes a great father? I've never heard of a Trump child, a diary that was found with Eric Trump showering inappropriately with his father as a child. But no, Trump's the bad orange man. Don't look at your gas. Don't look at your gas prices. Don't look at your food prices. Don't look at what people think about this country. Do you know the Olympics are coming up? And do you remember? I think most of you are probably old enough to remember when we used to terrify everybody. And now I'm a world traveler. We are the joke of the world. All this, what do they call it? DIE, DEI, whatever it is, where we're hiring people. I had a guy that works he has a company, he does dredgers, and he's looking for women. He can't get enough gigs, enough jobs, because he doesn't have any lesbians. And women don't, lesbians, women, they don't want to dredge. They don't want to do it. He can't get them. Well, they have lesbians. So, I mean, is this insane? No, I mean, let's hire people based on their skill. I don't care. I've never cared what sex someone is. I had gay guys on my show, I had black guys on my show, I had Muslims and Christians. And I just, if you can do the job, I want you. And if you think otherwise, I'd like to kick the shit out of you. I'd like to do it Don Mueller style. And if you're my age, this should scare the shit out of you. And this left, okay, you can calm it down a little bit now with laughter. This is a Hot Wheel track, and this is in the 70s what I got beat with. So the switch, the tree branch or the belt gave way to this. And I mean, this, God, even that just hurt. The welts this would leave. I don't know why you're laughing over there. Here, take that. Okay, go whip yourself.
My mom used to buy those paddles with a rubber ball on them, and she couldn't wait for the rubber ball to break off so she could save them to spank my ass with. She had a whole collection of them.
I don't need a paddle. I'd like to just kick the shit out of you right now for interrupting me on a roll. Why don't you click off? So how about I just leave? You want to do the show? Do it without me. Okay. I also want to say that I think loud people in church often, I know I'm all over the place. God, my neck is so stiff. I think that loud people in church oftentimes are not there to worship. Oh, yeah. The ferventness. I think they're there. I think it's demonic. I think they're there to distract. And oftentimes I will be in church and a guy is, it's all ecstasy and it's creepy, man. Yes, I believe you can be excited. Amen. And I'll yell out, amen, amen. But I think sometimes it's, yeah. Hey, Illinois, you're talking about demonic. Illinois, we just got a $1 billion tax increase. I would like to file a lawsuit. Is this not taxation without representation? Isn't that illegal? And these bastards just keep jacking up the price all the time. $1 billion are going up. And by the way, property taxes, they decided now there's no more vote. There's no more referendum. This is Fat Boy Pritzker. This is Sluggo. Okay? Governor Sluggo in Illinois where I'm at. Okay? And if you're here, I'm sorry. The numbers, people are fleeing. Have you seen the numbers? We're down 3% in the last year, 3%. But this is every year. We're down. And I talked about this in 1994. I told you what would happen in Chicago. And I'm going to tell you what I told you. And then I'm going to say it again and again. And then you'll just click off and go, well, Mancow's just lost his shit. He's crazy. No, what I said in 94, and nobody has ever called and apologized for me being right about everything. Someone's looking in the window. Oh, it's my wife. Scared the heck out of me. It scared the shit. It's dark out. Okay. I'll get that off there. Don't ever put that up. That's my wife, for God's sakes, Ralph. I know you've got a bit of a crush on her, but oh, God, you chafed my hide, you bastard. Anyway, where were we? Oh, so I predicted this in 94 because of the communist liberal politics here, the dummy craps, okay? So you tax because you got to pay for all these people that don't want to work, right? The gimme crowd. And so then they create more gimme crowd and more and more. And you can never give enough. You can never feed enough. You can never, and give a man a free house. He'll break out all the windows, man. Put his family on food stamps, and he's a big spender, man. Look at him. Look at all these fat fucks driving around getting free food with our money, pushing the carts around. Blah, blah, feed me. Oh, I got another one pregnant here. Let her parents use it. Oh, you had another baby? Oh, yeah, your parents will raise it. Man, I see a lot of old people raising shitheads kids. Let me just say that. Never forget. Oh, so I said it goes on and on until finally all the people that want to work, it's Ayn Rand territory. All the people that want to work, all the people that want to participate, they say enough is enough. I can't leave right now, but when I can, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go to a free state. I can't afford it anymore. My property taxes are $45,000 a year, friend. They just put who was his what was his name? Ann and Burke, Mr. Burke, Ed Burke. And they were friendly with me. I ate at their house, I ate here at Muller Manor. I like them. But let's just talk about them. You know, they may not like all my radio shows. They may not have liked my TV show. It's okay. This is business. I like them as people. But what a bunch of bullshit they had going on, right? Every year they would vote to raise our property taxes. And then every year I would write a check for $2,500 or more to Ed Burke to lower my taxes. They would review my taxes every year for $2,500, $4,000, whatever it was, to lower my taxes. And every year he would vote to raise the property taxes. And now they're not going to have votes anymore. Sluggo, Pritzker, Pugsley came up with this. Did you know that? They can now raise your property taxes without any vote or asking you. How is this legal? We just raised our taxes $1 billion. I did sign a new deal I want to mention here quickly. Scotty Schwarz, I'm sure would love to have this deal. I just signed a deal with Netflix. I'm going to get 3 months free. Thank you. Paramount is going down. Disney is hurting by the tune of billions because of their woke Star Wars. Star Wars has become Star Was. Lesbian witches, mocking the Virgin Mary to give a virgin birth as they worship some devil. Yes, there's a history with evil. I understand with Darth Vader and in some of the animated series, but, it's a disaster. 13%. It's just a disaster. Mancow, love you, love your show. Don't you wish we could unvax the dead, says Amy. Wow. Well, I could stop right there. That's pretty great. I had a vision. That I was being pulled under. This is true. This is not a joke. You see my lighter around? I had a dream I was being pulled under. The devil will pull you under. The song from Guys and Dolls. You got a lighter? There's a lighter in there. You could hand it to me over here. Anyway, I just had a vision, guys. It was a waking dream, I was being pulled under the whirlpool. Yes. Yeah. I don't know if you can say it. Anyway, and it was by stupid people. It's by stupid people. I mean, it didn't look like, but that's what it was. Just the stupidity. Why does a man in a dress? Why is that important? Unless you're grooming children and Disney, the things they do. And what's the two, not Phineas and Ferb, what's the two people? Morton, Artie. What is that? Rick and Morty. I mean, I happened upon it a time or two. So much pedophilia stuff to me. Just sick shit. And Mancow's law is a death penalty for pedophiles. Look at that. Look at that. All that technology, all this cool, my cool lighter, all that. I think that was a $2,000 lighter some guy gave me. And look what I have to do. We're going to be back to this. All of this has happened before. And it will all happen again. They build it up and they knock it down. And all this shit's going to burn, and it's going to burn soon before the elites will feel anything. All of this has happened before, and it will all happen again. I saw it in Chichen Itza. I saw it in Sacsayhuamana in Peru, and I've seen it all over. Build it up and knock it down. And every single time before communism, they destroy the food source. And if you haven't been paying attention about what they're doing to our food, and how about you can't buy a fruit or vegetable without Bill Gates spraying it with something? This waxy chemical that cannot be washed off. Why can't I have water without fluoride? Fluoride is predominant in the black neighborhoods. Paul Vallis and I fought against fluoride. Fluoride makes you really stupid and really violent. Really stupid and really violent. My friends, this is like a high power tamale. Some salsa. That's a powerful combination. And quick to violence. And it's all the black neighborhoods and all the politicians know because I've asked them. Yeah, we really should do something about that. We really should. It makes you stupid and quick to violence. And it's forever. And we've heard how much they care about the black and brown people. The black and brown people. Oh. The schools are shit, and we pay more money than anyone else. Our schools are shit, and they can't do math. I'm talking every color kid. Every color, whatever color you like. They can't do math. Any color of the gay rainbow, pick that one. They can't do math. They can't read. Put them through. Why? Stupid people are easy to control. Keep voting Democratic, dummy. Mancow, don't you wish we could unvax the dead? My grief counselor died. But you know what? I'm okay. I'm okay. She was that good. She was that good. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Did we start the show? Did we already start the show? We already started the show. Do we want to go to the guest? Let's bring him back on this week. There he is. Folks, the Invisible Man. The Invisible Man, an unbelievable performance by our guest today, Claude Rains. Claude starred in several. Oh, shit. Scotty Schwarz again? Fire duty. Okay, put up a picture, Ralph. Put up a picture, will you? That was hilarious. I think the rest of the audience is left too. It's fine. Can you put up a picture, Ralph? Ralph, you have tons of pictures. There you go. That's me and Scotty in my hotel room. And as you can tell, by the way, I want to tell you, I'm only 5'2". So that shows you how diminutive Scotty was and how he was able to. I just had a birthday, by the way. And if you guessed 27, you're an idiot. Okay, there's me and Scotty working on a documentary. Show me another picture. Scotty, I'll send you a copy that I know you're going to want that to masturbate to. There's I went to the premiere of the Reagan movie. It's not out. This was a press only thing. Oh, my neck is stiff. And let me tell you, the first 20 minutes, like, what is this? And then it just kicks ass. And everybody in the theater was crying. You fall in love with, can you believe Randy Quaid? Is that Randy or Dennis Quaid? Which is the one that's not?
Dennis Quaid.
Can you believe Dennis Quaid is Reagan? I thought it was the stupidest idea. My friend Mark Joseph did the movie. I was supposed to be the guy that was rescued in the water there, but I couldn't get to Budapest to shoot. Anyway, long story short, I think it's going to be a good movie. It's been cut off like a piece of pie. What's that?
Thought you were going to say you don't swim.
What's your favorite movie?
Of all time?
You know, you remind me of a quick story. Miami, black folks don't like to swim. I don't know if you know that. Black guys don't like to swim. So they couldn't be cops because you got to be able to swim in Miami. This is a true story. I remember the story. So then guess what happened? You don't have to swim anymore. You have to swim. Well, okay. No problem. Perfect. Okay. We don't swim. Okay. Great. Okay, where were we? Let's do another picture. Come on, Ralph.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Scotty, it's not you. It's him. It's him. It's this guy. Uh-huh.
Blazing Saddles, Evan Costello meet Frankenstein, and her.
No, dude, take that off. I don't like you putting up pictures of my wife. Anyway, Blazing Saddles. Dream. That really was. Listen, what's your favorite line? I mean, I don't want to use the N-word, please. The new sheriff is near or any of that. Do you have a favorite line in Blazing Saddles?
Lily Von Stupp.
Yeah. Go.
Now go do that voodoo that you do so well.
My favorite line is, I think, the first line of the movie, and I can't say it, but dock that.
Well, no,
day's pay for sleeping on the job.
Yes. Yeah.
They're working out in the sun, building the railroad, and the guy dies, and he goes, dock that a day's pay for sleeping on the job.
Sleeping on the job.
My favorite movie of all time is, I love Die Hard. I think the greatest movie of all time is Third Man. It's an English movie by Carol Reed. I think the greatest American movie is Godfather. Certainly Third Man is great. Orson Welles, as is Citizen Kane Orson Welles. Scotty, you were the star of The Toy with Jackie Gleason. And,
not on the greatest film ever made list, but that's okay.
The Toy.
Yep.
With Richard Pryor. Last time we talked about Richard Pryor. I just rewatched the first two. Smoking the Bandits. The second one is pretty horrific, but not bad. I like and do you know that Pat McCormick and
Paul
Williams, do you know they got a TV show spinoff of Smoking the Bandit?
Yeah, Big and Lean Burdette.
Big Enos and Little Enos. No, but the show was called Rooster.
Okay.
Look it up. Rooster, a spinoff of Smoking the Bandit. Different characters, but the same characters. Okay.
Right.
And so Jackie Gleason was so great as in The Honeymooners. He was so great in your movie. And what was the pool movie? His classic pool movie he did. The Hustler. Okay. So he probably, I imagine he was pretty old at that point and didn't really want to mess with some snot-nosed kid. Am I right?
No, because he hated working with kids and animals. Animals you can't talk to, and kids are stupid. I wasn't a kid. I was 13 body and age, but my
You
head
were
was
30 when you did that movie?
13, wise
Oh,
ass.
13. Okay.
But my head was 25, and I was a film buff.
Yeah.
So I knew who he was. I was a fan. I did impressions of him, and he dug that. So we got along very well.
Sexiest actress in history. Now, I'm going to say Linda Harrison from Planet of the Apes.
Oh, Rita Hayworth.
And then I would say Gene Tierney. Greatest actor, my favorite is William Holden. But I did love Bruce Willis in Die Hard, as I said.
I'm a Cagney guy.
Yeah?
Cagney
What about Dana Andrews?
All right.
Yeah? Do you like noir? Film noir? Do you like Eddie Muller?
Yeah. Montgomery
On
Clift
TCM. I like him. I like that noir stuff. I don't like that bald bitch. I don't have anything against bald bitches. I just don't like that one.
Gary Cooper was great.
High Noon, man. I've been High Noon, believe me. You were High Noon, weren't you? The last time I saw you were High Noon by that Corey Feldman.
No, high 420 in the afternoon.
Could you he got you kicked out of a hotel because you made him feel uncomfortable. Would you have beat him up? Were you going to beat him up? Was that the plan, Scotty? Were you there to beat up Corey Feldman? He got your ass kicked out of the hotel?
No, I was there to see friends of mine like Charlie Schlater and, 10 other people. And I didn't want to go anywhere near them.
Put up another picture. Nudie, keep putting up pictures. Come on, this guy's rambling. He's boring the shit out of me. And no, I'm kidding you, Scotty. I'm kidding you. But we are dropping names that nobody cares about. But that's okay.
But I was there to hang out and see people, Lee Majors.
And you were there to see me too. How about Lee Majors? The $6 million man. I got a picture. I'd have to find it. I'll show it on the next episode. Lee Majors, $6 million man. And what an asshole. What an asshole. And was it $100? And then, you have other people sign this? It's $150. But your sign says $100. Well, it's on an action figure, so it's $150 or whatever it was. I mean, what a heartbreaker. And I hung out with him with Shatner and Adam West. And I have a picture. Captain Kirk, the $6 million man, and Batman. Imagine me standing there with those three. My God. And Lee was great, but he was around Shatner. To the fans, I thought he was a dickhead. I thought Lindsay Wagner was delightful. Barbara Eden is older than Moose Pussy, but she still keeps it together. She's still classy, still very nice. Gave me a nice autograph. I have a bottle from I Dream of Jeannie signed somewhere back there. I mean, and Lorraine Bracco, she's wearing purple. We have a picture. I don't know if Ralph can find it, but I thought it was Grimace from McDonald's. I wanted to give her a shake.
Stop.
Oh, she's
you barbaric.
She was Dr. Malfoy from The Sopranos, and she's what's the word? Oh yeah, fat.
I can't even comment on that. She's Lorraine. She's a sweet lady. It's like if you're looking at her in a sexual manner and she's in her 70s, then you got problems.
I didn't say I was looking at her sexual nature, bud. But let me tell you something. Julie Newmar was there in her 90s, and she looks fantastic.
But
okay?
Julie Newmar's never gained 6 pounds. She's been a stick her whole life.
So let's talk about Lorraine Bracco, my friend, in Goodfellas. What are you looking at? Okay, that was a hot piece of woman. That was a hot tale.
Years ago.
So I just wonder, was her mother a pig? Was her mother obese? Did her mother have an ass like a yak? No, it's important, Scotty, you know it. Because my wife's, you've met my wife. She's beautiful, and her mother's hot. You got to look at the mother. I'm telling you. All right? She's get rid of that. Get rid of that, Ralph. She's twice that size.
No.
Where's my phone? Grab my phone, will you?
Go ahead. Break the phone out.
No, I got it here. Hey, listen. I don't know if you guys remember last week, but I couldn't believe that actress, Reese, she killed her husband. Reese.
Witherspoon.
What?
Witherspoon?
Witherspoon? No, with a knife. I love that joke. I want to do it every week. Just like Bill Maher does. Have you seen Bill Maher with a joke about how Trump jerks off 2 guys? And they show every week. It's hilarious, dude. They show him doing this. Oh, not back far enough, but.
You are just such a multi-talented individual.
Okay, so tell me about Toy Story. You don't make any money from it, do you?
I got a residual check last week for $7.
He's not kidding. You're not kidding, are you? I've gotten checks for 17 cents.
I got 5 cents.
Why even send it?
I got a check for another film I did.
I met Rocky Wirtz's daughter. I wish that picture came out. She's just beautiful. Oh man. If I was single and 30 years younger, she still wouldn't date me.
We're going to go to the phone, you know.
Here's your buddy. Here's your buddy.
Oh.
Why do you hate Corey Feldman? You say Charlie Sheen did not rape Corey Haim. You say that, right? Look up, Scotty. What do you look down there for? Depressed?
Because I can't look at that asshole.
He hates Corey Feldman, folks. Okay, Lorraine is here somewhere. Or did I get rid of her? Oh, no, there she is. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Come on, guys. Robble. It's Grimace. Scotty, you won't even look at it? You don't think that looks like Grimace?
Oh, come on.
I need the extra big toilet seat.
You are so bad. See, I'd rather, there we go. I'd rather look at that. See?
Hey, get that off. Get that off. Cut that off. Come on, this is not that kind of show.
Right. You, of course. Yeah, it's a
We'll show
family
that later.
We know.
We'll show that later, okay? All right. Scotty, you sell you sell all kinds of autograph stuff, and you're a wonderful gift giver. Come on, look at me. Don't look away.
I'm
Okay?
looking at you.
Okay, I like to make eye contact with you. I like to look at you in your eyes. I wish you'd put your tongue against my pole flick. What? How's your little dog?
Little doggy's great. Thank you for asking. We just got
cutest.
back from Memphis. We hung out with Jerry Lawler, and she had a blast.
Oh my God, the King.
The King, yes.
You hung out with Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah.
And I've been acting like I've been acting. I'm embarrassed for myself.
Got clothes at his house. It's, been there several times. I do stuff with him all the time.
Excellent. So, will you do one of your most famous lines for us?
What line do you want me to do?
I like the one where your parents have left. They've left Chicago, and you go, ah!
Yeah,
Can you do that one for us?
I would rather do this one. I know what I want. What do you want? The Black Man.
That's
he
from
wants the Wonder Wheel in black. No, the Black Man.
God.
I'm
Those were
allowed
good
to-
days, weren't they?
That's right. I can make those jokes.
Wow.
I don't give a shit how many people you ever have on this show for decades. I'm the only one bought a Black Man. Thank
The
you.
show was. Don't start this shit with me, please. He said it, not me. This guy.
I'm allowed to say it though.
This
If
guy.
they haven't seen
My
it, they're
finger's
under
going into his
35.
head. Oh, it's in his head. Okay.
They're under 35.
All right.
They should watch it. If they're over 35, their parents didn't show them the
The
right kind of
Toy.
movies.
It's a fun 80s.
Absolutely.
And of course, Christmas Story. We watch it every year, right?
Yeah.
The greatest Christmas movie is Alastair Sim, Scrooge, but that's me. And then I like It's a Wonderful Life. Miracle on 34th Street, the original with Natalie Wood.
Yeah. Good movie.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not looking for your approval, pal.
Good movie.
I
Yeah.
don't give a
Okay.
shit if you like my Christmas movies, just because you're the star of one of my favorites.
I like Elf.
Yeah, I do too. Is Farkas dead? Is Scott Farkas dead?
No.
God, that was an ugly little son of a bitch. Wasn't he an ugly little son of a bitch?
No,
Scott
he's-
Farkas. Hey, what's the Peter what? Peter, what's his name?
Billingsley played Ralphie.
Peter Billingsley. So I liked him as Messy Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as a kid, and then I liked him on Real People. I was a big fan of this kid. I'm probably the same age. And we hung out and we talked about Jesus for several hours. Scotty,
Really?
stay with me. Stay with me. Yes. And I think he's a
It is
believer.
amazing.
And you know who was there? Vince Vaughn.
Mhm.
And you know who else was there? Joel Osteen. Imagine this. And Victoria came in once in a while, his wife. So hours of talking about Jesus and crying and praying. And I know Vince Vaughn's mom. And Vince Vaughn, Peter Billingsley, and me. And Peter could not have been. Think of it. We're talking about godly stuff. And I'm leaving. I said, hey, Vince, can I get a picture with you? No.
What are you going to do?
What a bastard. He hurt me. He hurt me, Scotty.
I think I have one picture with him, and I've met him 5 times.
I don't have any pictures.
All right. I mean, he's always been cool. And Peter's great. Thank goodness at least
This is Vince Vaughn calling. Okay,
Right.
let's cut away. I'll be back. Let's. Cut and go to the real guest tonight, Dennis Kucinich. I couldn't get out any other way. Dennis, how are you? And I can't hear him. Okay, Ralph, I can't hear him. Dennis, doggone it, you look fantastic. I got no sound. But it's got to be Ralph because I heard everything else. Hi, okay, we'll have to. I heart you. Ralph, did you mute him? Okay.
No, he's not muted. It must be his mic. We're trying to figure it out. Dennis, we can't hear you, sir.
Okay. We'll wait for a second. Hi, folks. Supreme Court has ruled in Trump's favor. Biden was out earlier talking about it. Dennis Kucinich, you remember, as a household name, was on O'Reilly all the time, and they're messing with it. He looks like he was prepared for a very professional show. He looks good. He's dressed up, and it'll be a shame if we can't get to him. He's laughing. He's happy. I'm hoping to heck we can get him. Oh boy. I'm sure Ralph is scrambling. Okay, now I'm off. Okay, now I'm back. Don't mess with my mic. My 56% of liberal women, Democratic women, have been 56%, according to a new study, have been diagnosed with some sort of mental disorder. Not a surprise. The gym owner that wouldn't follow all the COVID restrictions went to court, and all the charges have been dismissed. What else? Monica Lewinsky says she's not going to vote for Biden because the Democrats left a bad taste in her mouth. So here we go. They're working on it, and he's still working on it. Okay. Ralph, do you want to jump on and tell me what you think we should do? How does this happen? How did this happen?
It looks like he's having some hardware issues with that microphone over there, that blue Yeti microphone. So I'm guessing what they're...
You think you hear him now?
Wait, I can hear something.
We hear you.
Hello, testing.
Hello.
Well, I don't know. Do we got him clear or not?
Yeah, I think we're good. We're good.
Hey, yeah. Hey, Dennis, how are you?
Great. Terrific.
You look good.
Kind of informal.
No, you're not informal at all. You and I have something in common before we start here, and that is we both married way up.
Oh, yeah. I married about 6 inches above my head.
Yeah, no, my wife is, both of us have, we did well. How are you? It's, it was your household name and you disappeared.
Well, I was redistricted out of Congress in 2012 by the Democrats in Columbus. What they did was to draw my district from Cleveland, 115 miles to the west, into the district of a popular Democratic incumbent. And I had a small sliver of my old district, and she had most of hers. So that was that. But
was it because you were against the war, and was it because you were pro-impeachment of Obama over what happened in Libya? Do you think that's why they got you out?
Well, keep this in mind. I think Libya had a lot to do with it. It wasn't that I advocated impeachment. What I said was that if an executive prosecutes a war without going to Congress, that's an impeachable offense. So there was never, any impeachment process. But Libya was a disaster. President Obama understood that later. At the time, he was pushing for it with the encouragement of Hillary Clinton, and I stood very strong against it. I almost blocked it. We had the votes. I worked out a deal with a lot of Republicans, and we almost stopped it. We stopped it for a couple of days, but unfortunately, they went forward. It's just another foreign policy disaster promoted out of Washington, and unfortunately, the repercussions of it are still being felt.
Well, both sides are guilty of it, of course, and you were against the Iraq War. You were very much a Nostradamus in that case.
I led the effort.
Do you think was Gaddafi, not for us, but was Gaddafi for his people? This is an honest question. By the way, I don't ask questions I know the answer to set you up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This isn't a fake question. To the people of Libya, did they like Gaddafi?
Yes, from everything that I saw, yes.
Yeah,
they provided that the people had all their needs met. When somebody got married, I understood that the couple would get anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000, the equivalent of that from the government. I think what happened is, and the reason why he was knocked off is because he was advocating a new currency for Africa, and that would have threatened the hegemony of the monetary policy that comes out of the United States, led by the Federal Reserve. So I think that that's one of the reasons why he was killed.
Wow. Can I call you Dennis?
Sure, I'm very informal.
Dennis, that was just a huge bombshell moment, what just happened between us. And I hope for people watching, that's a huge thing you just said.
Well,
and that's what I believe, and that's what I've believed. You play, and I go back to the book and the Economic Hitman and the Jackals and all of that, and you play by our rules, or we'll get rid of you, and we will get rid of your leader, whether you like him or not. We've done it all over South America. We have a long history of this. I'm not a liberal, I'm not a liberal, but you and I, look, we can both. And the liberals I used to know, I did agree with, was they were anti-war, and they were pro-free speech. So things have gotten kind of strange.
Yeah, I consider myself a constitutional conservative, and the Constitution says that you can't take the country into a war without Congress having a say, and the Constitution right now is not being abided by in so many ways.
Yeah,
and it's a dangerous time for our country as a result.
Well, Dennis, another thing you're saying that I'm loving, and I'm not just sucking up to you as a guest. Have we declared war? What happened to?
No,
we haven't declared war, and
we're at war. We're at war in many places.
We're never not at war, and we never declare it anymore. They call it they never really say war, right? They say it's a skirmish. We learned this in Vietnam. Just call it something else, and you don't have to worry about the fact that the people don't have a say in it. So they keep going out marching off and killing people in our name, whether or not we want it.
That's correct. Let me explain how some of this happens. First of all, this is Congress abdicating its Article 1 responsibilities under the Constitution. Constitution, very clear, Congress has the power to declare war. But once Congress gives the administration money for a war, courts have basically said that's tantamount to approving the war. It makes sense. So the money keeps going in, and we're spending endless amounts of money for foreign wars. We're not taking care of our own people here. We're bombing people in other countries, and the end result is going to only be more chaos, and it's quite likely, we could end up in World War III with the way things are going right now.
You were around the halls of Fox a lot. I had the number one or top segment in the morning, which, I'm kind of like a pet rattlesnake. I was crazy. Crazy Mancow, but I got him big ratings in the morning with Steve, Edie, and Brian for 7.5 years at Fox. And I saw you around the hallways of Fox. Did you know a guy named Woody Frazier? Did you know him in your travels? He was Roger's right-hand man. Well, I'm just going to ask you what he says is the greatest question that nobody ever asks. Now, think about what you just said, and here's the follow-up. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Why?
Right. Yeah, right.
Why are we always at war, Dennis?
Yeah, it's a racket, and people make money off of it. They make a lot of money. The country's getting ripped off right now by contractors who are charging anywhere from 3 to 20 times what things cost. And just, this is it. And the taxpayers are getting it in the neck over and over and over. We got a $35 trillion deficit, and at least a quarter of it is attributed to wars we never had to get into. So, the American people are getting hosed every day by this system, which, I have personally fought every day in the 16 years I was in Congress. I thought I was going into Congress to make sure that people's Social Security was secure, Medicare was secure, that people would be able to afford a home, and on, domestic stuff. But everything that we could take care of here at home, so much of the money is going over there to blow things up. And sooner or later, all this is going to come back at us, and it's not going to be a happy moment.
Well, and, I found if you kill someone's father or brother, they don't like you very much. People are really getting sick of us doing all this killing. And I'm really sounding like a 60s hippie radical, but it's just gotten stupid. And I see people flying the Ukraine flag. They couldn't find Ukraine if you gave them two choices on a map. Why are we there? Why is this guy hustling us for so much money? And so, of course, the famous Eisenhower speech, right, is our business is, Eisenhower, the general from World War II, you think he might know. He said, look, be careful. Our business is going to be war. And so Dennis, I talked to a very successful actress. I don't want to sell her out, but he said, your problem is you still believe in these people. But she said, I was kind of aware around Clinton, and I just think they're all liars all the time, and nothing's, you get upset. I don't care. Our generation, people don't care. They just expect the politicians to be liars. I was brought up with, I remember Nixon, I remember Carter, I remember Reagan. And these people were loved and admired, and we were taught the Constitution, civics, these sorts of things. And a long setup. I really just did what I hate. I hate when an interviewer talks and doesn't just ask a question. So here's a question, Dennis, but I want to give you a little background. Are we the bad guys? Is America, are we the bad guys?
Well, we should be the good guys. And right now, there are no good guys. And I grew up always, I love this country. That's why I served it. That's why I want to continue to serve it. But what holds the country together is trust. And trust comes from telling the truth all the time. And when you're lied repeatedly to, people then don't trust the government. And I think at this point, that's an appropriate place to be.
Yeah.
But we need to regain that. We need to regain trust in government so that we can find our unity again. Because when there's no trust, things shatter, things fall apart. So,
Well, I don't know what's happened. My screen is frozen. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but God, he's fantastic.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just Dennis.
Another.
There
he is.
He's back.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, a little glitch here. Look, you were mayor of Ohio. You were the mayor of Cleveland. My friend Jerry Springer, who's was a limousine lib, he was mayor of Cincinnati. Was he a good mayor?
I knew Jerry Springer since the early 70s. His job, by the way, in Cincinnati, they had a city manager form of government. Cleveland's mayor, the position that I held, was modeled after the federal plan. The mayor had real power over everything. But what Jerry Springer did, he created excitement everywhere he went, which, is a good thing. He was a brilliant entertainer. I mean, one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
And, he's somebody who was a friend of mine. And
But was he a good mayor, yes or no?
See, again, different.
That's a no.
I'll say yes for the purposes of what a mayor was in Cincinnati at that time.
Okay.
Not fully empowered to do things.
And is Skyline the best chili?
Wow, sir.
Is it?
I'm a vegan. I don't know.
Oh, no. You and my friend Billy Corrigan. You know what? My joke is vegans and Greeks.
Okay, we'll go.
Well, no, because vegans and vegans. I'm vegan. I'm vegan. I'm vegan. Hey, I'm vegan. And my Greek friends. I'm Greek. It's Greek. We got. I'm Greek. Yes. Vegans and Greeks have to tell you all the time. Yes.
Kala.
Okay. What else? Oh, okay. So I was with Fox and with news stations here in Chicago, radio news stations. I was on the trail and on the campaign trail a few times. And you ran what? 2 times you ran for president?
Right.
Okay. So another long set of mine. You ought to have the Rolling Stones on your show. You ought to have Bush on your show and hold his feet to the fire. I mean, these are things I heard. Okay. Dennis, what don't we get? I know people, Dennis, you ought to do this and this. Yeah, okay, if I could, I would, moron. But what do we not get about being president? Is it?
Well, it's not about one person. It's about everybody you bring in, because the decisions that are made not just by one person, even if that person's very strong. Once something gets into bureaucracy, you don't know where the decision made. Let me give you an example. When I was mayor of Cleveland, I met then in the White House President Carter, and I asked him the question that's based on your question. I said, Mr. President, what's it like to be president? He said, it's like this. He says, I can make it. Do you think you got a lot of power? You do, but you can make a decision and then it goes to somebody. And once it gets into bureaucracy, you don't know what happens. And so the real thing is that a president has to lead on so many different levels. He's a leader for the heart and soul of a nation. He's the leader for the direction of the nation. he's a spiritual leader in some ways. I mean, a president is a lot of things, but the one thing that he's not is somebody who, is looking at trying to push the buttons in some kind of giant machine every day. It just doesn't happen. It's not even possible. Just try. Here's a cell phone. You try to keep track of 100 messages, 200 messages a day. Yeah. Think of what it's like with a president. He sets he sets the tone.
Is it fixed? Is it fixed?
No.
Not a chance.
So
a kid. I mean, look, I was around Obama before he was anything. And he certainly had a lot of people around helping create what became Obama. I mean, he was handled. He went to acting coaches. I saw a lot of creation around him.
Well, I mean, there's an image building that.
But a child right now could grow up and be president. You think without selling his soul?
Of course.
Okay.
I believe that. I mean, that's good. That's kind of what brought me into politics, this belief that one person can make a difference and somebody can come out of the inner city in Cleveland and aspire to represent people all over the country. I think that's still possible.
You were pro single payer healthcare and all of this. My healthcare is, and my family's healthcare is a nightmare. And I don't know who to blame. I mean, what do you think about our healthcare system right now?
Look, the problem is what everything costs and what insurance costs. I've looked at families who say all their lifetime savings went because of an illness, or their pensions were spent, or they went bankrupt. Medical bankruptcies are still a very significant feature of financial failure. So, that's why I looked at the impact of major illness on families and said, wait, we have to come up with a system that can lay off the costs here so that nobody goes broke. And you can work and this is what always drove me crazy. You look at seniors in particular, they work their whole life to build up a nest egg. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, one illness, gone. I mean, why should that be? I don't, we've got to do better in this country. Meanwhile, hold on, Mancow. Meanwhile, the insurance companies make out like bandits.
Yes.
I mean, please, come on. Is it, it's another racket.
So when you were supporting, I mean, do we call it Obamacare or whatever?
No,
but this is certainly not what you envisioned.
No,
what our healthcare is.
No, absolutely not. I wanted at least the states to have the ability to be able to start their own system, but that was blocked. President Obama didn't want to do it, and he was ready to go send the whole thing down. My own constituency in the Cleveland area said, "Wait a minute, Dennis, we're going to get pre-existing conditions covered. Okay, we're going to get our kids covered if they're until they're 25." This means a lot to us. There are a few other benefits, but look, this was ultimately the insurance companies. It's like, heads they win, tails we lose.
Yeah. Look, you were against Iraq, all this war. I've been against all this war as well. I mean, the Afghanistan pullout was a disaster. There's that scene in it's a ridiculous scene. Oliver Stone, Nixon's cutting a steak and he sees all the kids dying in Vietnam and he's crying. But does this stuff haunt you?
Yes, absolutely. Let me tell you something. When I saw all of our soldiers dying in Iraq, this war that I did everything I could to stop.
You did, yes.
And then I saw about 1 million innocent Iraqis just dying in this as a result of the war. Yeah, it haunted me. My God, did it haunt me. And it still does.
Yeah.
Because, I asked myself, there's something else I could have done to stop it. Meanwhile, that war cost at least anywhere from $4 to $6 trillion added to the national debt. Why? I mean, this is money that is needed back here at home. Yet we were lied to take us into the war.
Was it Bush Jr. wanted to avenge his father or wanted to show off, or what? Why were we there? I mean, obviously weapons of mass destruction was a lie. I'm not a big fan of what the Islamic world wants to do to folks like me. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I understand that. It was a project. But it was a project for the new American century, Mancow. I'm sure you're familiar with it. This was an ideological paper that was written years before 9/11. It was aimed at America global hegemony. I mean, it was just
wow.
it was cockamamie. You know, it
So
was like
some think tank, and all this happened.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
and so you know, this idea that somehow America, if you conquer the world, you got to pay for the world. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. We're paying for the world. We didn't conquer it. It's like the whole thing is nuts.
I
And
saw the new Reagan movie, and he's friendly with Tip O'Neill, and I remember those days, and I remember, the good Democrats and the bad, whatever. I always thought of you as a white hat competitor, a white hat guy. Same thing with, I don't know, Carter, and others. I don't know. I was.
well, man,
Do you remember a guy named Ike Skelton?
Oh, I knew Ike very well from Missouri.
So Ike
Real
and I were friendly. He had his office on near my campus where I went to school, and I was very friendly with him. And there's a lot of Democrats here I'm friendly with. The kookiness of the Democratic Party now, the drag queen clowns having to be with children, and just it's so important. Have you left the party, or is it? I mean, where are you at on the party right now?
Well, I'm running in Ohio for Congress as an independent. Only my name's going to appear on the ballot. I felt, again, it's the Democrats who redistricted me out of Congress.
Yes.
So what part of beat it did I not understand?
Wow.
So I'm running as an independent in a district that largely I represented all these people for years, so they know me, and I don't need a label. I just need to be on the ballot.
Do you have a chance?
Oh yeah, I expect to win. I very well could be the only independent in the entire House of Representatives in next year, and you could have the House evenly split: 217 Democrats, 217 Republicans, and one independent. Me, I could be in a pivot point in the House.
I hope, Dennis. I hope so. Who is the who's going to be the nominee for the Democrats? You think Biden stays in?
Yes,
Dr. Jill keeps him there, and
I think he stays in. And the machinery was set in place a couple of years ago by the Democratic National Committee. And that marching band and chowder society lined up behind the name Biden is not going to veer off the road at this point. And
I'm laughing because how many times a day are you asked this and text this and right? I mean, this is all you've been talking about the last couple of days.
It's true.
You had to be shocked at that debate, and you really realize how much we're lied to by everybody.
Well, here this
Biden is super sharp. Yeah.
Well, frankly, there was nothing new that I saw, really, to be real. It's just there was nothing new. What happened is over the last couple of years, there weren't as many people paying attention as there were on the night of that debate. And then all of a sudden somebody goes, whoa. Well, and I mean, that's what happened. That's why there's a vulnerability here. Now, I know. Go ahead.
No, I remember Donahue and O'Reilly's red-faced and yelling, and Donahue, and Donahue's going, who, by the way, not this house, but lived right here where I'm at in the outskirts of Chicago. My, look at you all red-faced. My. And I thought he kicked ass, and all my friends are going, "You see O'Reilly? Yeah, he killed him."
Okay, I knew both.
Hang on. No. Actually, that's kind of where I'm going. And I just thought, and I know some of Trump's handlers, and I know some of the people that coached him, and I just wanted him to remain calm. I didn't want him walking over to the podium and screaming, and I thought he nailed it. I thought he showed constraint. I thought Trump did a great job, and I hate that it's just all about Biden looked like an imbecile. And then where I wanted to go, if you want to know inside my head, and you can take it from here and riff for the next 2 hours. But I always wondered how, because I worked with O'Reilly, not closely, but I found him to be an insufferable prick. And I found him to be a man with no foundation whatsoever. He would be whatever you want him to be if you pay him. If I have a network and it's communist, he's communist. My opinion, okay? So I never understood how you got along with him. But yeah, go ahead. Where am I going with this? How did you work with O'Reilly? I don't know what the question is, Dennis. You take over.
Mancow, I get along with everyone. I don't judge people.
Yeah,
how can you want to represent all the people if you can't find a way to work with anybody?
Good for you.
This is the problem we have in the world right now.
Yeah.
Some people in the White House say, well, we can work with this guy. We can't work with that guy. It's all crazy. I explore every day a kind of diplomacy. And O'Reilly was kind enough to me There were times that he played some games, but I didn't have any problem with O'Reilly. And of course, I knew Donahue, who paid a price with his career for challenging the Iraq War.
I'm not aware of this.
He did.
Phil Donahue, it called you too.
He lost
You
his,
too.
He lost his show, though.
Because the same thing that you lost your show because of.
But it's like I had time to spare. I'm back.
Is that's unbelievable. So you're a popular guy. My friend here, Bob Fioretti, who's I think running for dog catcher right now. I love Bob. Hi, Bob. But he's a popular Democrat. He started, hey, maybe people should be able to defend themselves with guns. Maybe we should lower these taxes. Everybody's leaving Illinois. Maybe we should. And they gerrymandered him out. I mean, it is. They just cut right into him and they got him out and they cut his nuts off. I mean, it is. That is something that you can be elected, and they can gerrymander you out. And yeah. Do you think the Obama that you know, is that the Obama that that America knows?
Yeah, I would say in part, yes. I mean, there's a lot about President Obama that's very engaging, but on the other hand, he comes out of Chicago politics.
Yes. Yeah. You don't get out of here. You don't get there without playing the game. Dennis, is there a octagon or I forget what you would call it, but when you're running for president, or if you maybe you didn't get far enough, no insult intended, but are you gathered in a room and look, if you want to go further, this is what you have to do? Does that type of thing happen?
I'll tell you, let me tell you, I had my experience, and I wrote about it in a book called The Division of Light and Power. And, I was basically told when I was mayor of Cleveland that I had to sell the city's municipal electric system to its private competitor.
I remember this.
Okay. So they were connected with the biggest bank, and they basically told me that I was cooked if I didn't go along with the deal. And I told them, take your best shot. And, and so there were 3 assassination attempts. I know what this is.
Wait, Dennis, because I remember this. Why would I remember this? I remember this.
Yeah.
Right. That seems to be whether you're a president or a congressman or a mayor, or even my dad, who was mayor of Lakehurst, New Jersey, where the Hindenburg went down, but not when the Hindenburg went down, that if you don't do what the bankers tell you, your life's in danger.
Well, I told him to take a hike. I said no.
What was the assassination? I never heard you had an assassination attempt.
Yeah, there were several. And I could tell you that. I mean, the U.S. Senate Subcommittee on Organized Crime did a study on crime in the Midwest, in which they uncovered this plot. I never talked about it because,
I also had the FBI come to me with one, which I don't want to talk about, for me. And then I have two. One was a satanic group, because I'm very open about my faith, and the other was just a nut who I spoke to secretly, and real crazy stuff. So did that change how you went out and about? I mean, did you stop going out to eat? Did you? No.
Well, let me tell you this. I mean, I had to wear a bulletproof vest, which was a lot of fun when I was throwing out the opening day pitch at Cleveland Municipal Stadium. I would have to wear the vest in 90 to 100 degree weather inside a church in Cleveland when I was speaking at a Baptist church there. Yeah. Does it change things? Yeah, it would change my itinerary and it would be less announced. But did it change my
resolve?
Yes. The answer is no, it did not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I can't, in life, you have to make a decision. If you can be intimidated, get out of politics, and I can't, I just can't be bought. And there's nothing I want. I grew up the oldest of 7. My parents never owned a home. We lived in 21 different places by the time I was 17. So I never relied on materiality, Mancow. And because of that, there's nothing that anybody can put in front of me and say, if you do this, we'll do this for you. I don't live that way. I never have.
Dennis, I'm not at liberty to talk about what I'm going through right now, but I'll tell you what, brother, I never sold out. And my nearest neighbor is a half mile away on dirt roads, and I come from poverty. I don't live in poverty now. I worked hard, and I'm proud of it. But I appreciate people that have the gumption to do it. And I love that we preach that now to all the kids. Stand up! And they have no idea what they're standing up for. They're screaming, from the whatever to the river to the sea. they're sloganeering. They have no idea what they're talking about. But I'll tell you, when it comes down to what's right and doing what's right, I do it. And it's been very costly to me.
That's what life has to be about.
Much fame, many millions of dollars.
You know,
And,
what's life about if you can't stand for something?
Well, most people sell out. Most people will take a free Harley to not stand up for their friend in court. Oh, what am I talking about? I'm just saying things out of thin air. So yeah. No, I appreciate that about you. God, I wish someone had listened to you about the wars.
Yeah, well,
I have thought about them since I was a kid. Really, we don't. It's not war. It's what do they call them? Police actions, right? America has not been in a war, and since before Vietnam. Vietnam was never a war, correct? They called it a skirmish or a police action.
Right. They put a Gulf of Tonkin resolution forward, which in order to go into a war against Vietnam. But later on, the intelligence agencies had to admit that they cooked the books on the Gulf of Tonkin incident, that it never really happened. Think about that.
Yeah.
Millions of people were killed in Southeast Asia. Americans, our men and some women lost. We lost over 58,000 lives and hundreds, hundreds of thousands injured, and so many came back with lifelong injuries and post-traumatic stress and drug addictions and everything. We lost part of America in Vietnam, and we didn't learn anything because then we went to Iraq.
We haven't stopped. We haven't stopped. And that money, I mean, our roads here are like the service of the moon, and what America could be, really, that shining city that
what America could be. Boy, there's a book to be written.
Well, let's write it. Dennis, who's going to be president?
Well, if the election's today, it's Donald Trump, but it's not today. I'll tell you, you got to remember,
we're a long way off.
A long way. Long way.
I think they have something. I just the Bidens of the world don't seem very concerned. It seems like they have something up their sleeve that they're saving.
I mean, if it's another riff on the Russia thing, please, spare me.
Well, that was fake.
Because it was fake, right?
Yeah,
and it was calculated. It was calculated.
That was Hillary.
Yes, absolutely, no question about it. And don't ever underestimate her, because if there was some way that they could move President Biden aside, don't think for a minute that she wouldn't surface in a contested convention. I'm just saying, don't ever count her out.
Doesn't a president, Dennis, you want to be president? Doesn't a president swear an oath to protect our borders? Hasn't Biden violated his oath with these open borders?
Well, listen, Mancow, you can't have a nation if you don't have borders. Hello.
Correct. Wow, Dennis, I like you a lot. I know you and I have a mutual best buddy, and do you remember what I said? We're the fat girls. Did you get the joke?
Yes.
I mean, we're the chubby girls in the sorority working in the kitchen. We have a very cool friend. We're not the Hooters girls out front. We're the chubby ones in the back, actually slanging the wig. Yes.
Hey, are you really 5'2"?
No, but I know you're not a tall guy. I'm not 5'2", but Freddie Patek was my hero of the Royals because I never grew. Eventually, I'm 6 foot now, but it like happened in college, and I was a little guy, and women would kind of look at me like, "Get out of here, kid." And no, I'm
Well, in homage to everybody who's short, I don't know if you get a close up of this, but
oh man,
there's a
where are you in there?
Number 26.
Oh no.
Yeah, wait a minute, hold it. You got to hear. No, you didn't hear this. At 4 foot 9 inches, 97 pounds, Dennis Kucinich, number 26, was a third-string varsity quarterback. So,
but Rudy, you kept going.
Yeah, I just kept going, and fortunately, I survived.
I'm going to ask you 2 more questions. We're going to hang up. Okay. What's the greatest movie? I asked Scotty a few minutes ago. What's the greatest movie? What's your favorite movie?
I like Dr. Zhivago. I'm an ethnic.
You're a Croatian, correct?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm Croatian and Irish.
That's a great combination, man. I'd like to party with you. Okay, and then I always like to go through books. This is the John Cleese book, which is not a good book, but he says, and it's a great thing that I like to remind people. He says he's not funny. He would think of lawyers or whatever it was and go to sleep and tell his mind, think of something funny, and he would always wake up. And I do the same thing. I learned it from this book, and you don't have to read the book. All you have to do is before you go to bed tonight, ask yourself a question, and you'll get the answer. Your subconscious keeps working, and you'll get it. You'll get it in the morning. Power of the Subconscious Mind, The Superior Male. If you're a single man, it's dangerous. The Game by Neil Strauss. If you're a single man.
Don't forget The Division of Light and Power. That's the book that I wrote about what happened in Cleveland in the fight with the banks and the mob.
Division of Light and Power. Write that down, guys. I'll get it. Full Moon. Keith Moon's Roadie, What a Party Animal. And then, do you know what this book is?
I can't see it.
You can't see it. No.
What is it?
It's called The Printer of Udell's, and it's the book that Ronald Reagan read. That this is an original copy, first edition.
Oh wow!
And this is the book that got him into politics. And then I'm in this book, which was about my friendship with the cokehead. Chris Farley. So like drugs more than life. Fat guys should not do cocaine. Okay, so I was going to ask you, that's where I'm headed. Light and Power, there it is.
That's it, Division of Light and Power.
Right. There you go.
It was called a cross between Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and The Godfather, or The Godfather. It's been compared to Chinatown.
Robert Towns, Polanski.
Right.
Houston.
Brilliant.
What's her name? Not Sybil Shepherd. Faye Dunaway.
Right. She was amazing.
And did I say Nicholson?
What a
great movie. Yeah.
The scenes with Nicholson, one of the great actors of our time.
Well, he's with the dementia now. So, but what's your that you didn't write? What's your favorite book? And that'll be the end of us here. Other than the Bible, let's say, what's an important book to you?
War and Peace.
War and Peace. You're a heavy guy. Dr. Zhivago. I can tell you nobody else on earth says that. not even David Lean's daughter would say that one. Okay. All right. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, everybody. What a fun Monday night.
Kucinich.com.
Kucinich.com. I'm voting for you. I'm rooting for you. And in Chicago, of course, we can vote for whoever we want, whenever we want, living or dead. We will vote for you. And you'll come back on when you win? You're going to come back on when you win?
I'll come back on.
All right, yes. Ralph. Let's end the show. Good night, everybody. As my mom used to say, shut up.
Yeah.
Corey
Hello?
Feldman said when I caught him on a hot mic.
No, I told you I'm doing the Mancow show. No. Yes. No. Yeah. Okay. Fine.